That's a bug. That's a bug. Good morning. We're back. We're back for some more trad coding in the year of our Lord 2026. Hey, what's up, Tarfik? How are you? Nice to see you again. Well, that was a little weird. I'm back, but I'm not sure exactly what what happened there. All right, we're building the Pokedex today, folks. Pokedex. So we don't need that guy anymore. We do need that guy. I don't think we need this open. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna need a new shell. Control new. Control Shift 2. Let's go see if the coffee camera didn't come back on. Hold on one sec. Hold on one second. There we are. All right. Hopefully this goes better the second time around. Second time's the charm. Uh-oh. Oh, that scared me. I thought that was that same warning. Okay. Looks like the connection is stable for now. Housekeeping is taken care of. So let's go ahead and do this. Alt-Z. Make this a little bigger. And then let's make our browser window. Boot.deving, boot.dev. And away we go. Excuse me. Actually, I'm gonna put boot.dev over here. So let's make a new directory. By this step, you'll have a simple working program and go. Create a main.go. Make their Pokedex CLI. Okay, and then let's do go mod init github.com. And we will do Pokedex. Wonderful. Okay, all good there. Hey, good morning, Gun Highs. Yo, best programmer with Pokemon something. I don't know if I'm the best programmer, but today we are building a Pokedex CLI, so that's fun. Nice. You know what isn't fun though? Pokemon hack ROMs, like Pokemon my ass shit. What the fuck? What? What are you talking about? Pokemon hack ROMs? Never heard about this. People like take the games and make them weird. Why do people gotta be weird? Okay, so let's do let's actually do remove Pokedex, and let's make a new directory called bin. Make a new not new item, touch.get ignore. And then when we run go build, let's actually just make build.sh. You didn't? Hack ROMs are modded games. There are a few diamonds in the pool, but weird stuff. Yeah, no, I've never played. Don't Google Pokemon my yeah I'm guessing that will probably lead to some weird stuff. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted. That is what I wanted. However, something just, I don't know, something just went by my brain. I was having a thought and it floated away. Good morning, Arvin. How are things in your neck of the woods? Life treating you okay? Okay, back to the topic. Is that Pokedex CLI a boot.dev assignment? It is. Yep, this is a part of their... This is one of their guided projects, I think. Indeedy, one of their guided projects. We're still just on our way to trying to become an Archmage, you know? Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Okay. So let's go ahead and now let us create a new repository. Don't really need to worry about any of that right now. Create repository. Now we'll go to GitHub. Do the same thing over here. And we'll just set up a mirror. Settings. Hear that. We'll push on sync. Okay. Then let's go ahead and write we have license generator over here? Yeah, we do. My coffee cam just disconnected. Pokedex CLI. And then last thing is we'll just do a readme. Pokedex CLI. This project was built as a guided project for boot.dev. All right, we're gonna have to go fix that. Okay. So have git ignore, our license, have a readme. No. I want to commit. There we go. Chore initial project setup. And then let's push that to the remote. Which I think I can do in here. Shift P. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Now back to the assignment. My internet connection is shit. Cannot watch live properly. Speed is shit. It buffers 2 seconds per 1 second and keep I'm sorry, man. If there was something I could do to make it better on my end, I would. I think my end is okay. I think we sorted out all my network stuff. I spent like 3 hours on Wednesday or Thursday working it out, and so far we've been good. Today 15 minutes. I had my computer restarted randomly right when I started the stream, so I did have one unstable event this morning, but that was not network related. That was something with my PC. But I think my end's worked out, but if there was something I could do, I would. I'm sorry, Arvin. Here, let me let's see, YouTube at Arvin. Sorry about that, man. There was anything I could do on my end, definitely would. What? There's 2 streams there. Started just now. 5:15. So I want this one. Delete that one. This one. Is that where we had it? Yeah, I think we had it right there. Right about there. Oh, it needs to print hello world. I was trying to be cute about it. That would have got me. That would have made me fail the lesson. Okay. Whoops. Oh man. I just realized all that work I did to set that up is gonna get busted by. It's gonna try to run Go. Oh no. It won't. Fantastic. Here we go. All right, now we're finally going to get to some testing and go. What? All right, like anything, the more you do, the better you'll be at it. More importantly, you'll begin to understand how to write code that is easier to test. This right here is such a skill. Actually, yesterday and Thursday, I spent most of my time at work reasoning about how to test code that was not written to be testable. And God, it's very difficult to test code that was not really authored to be testable. Okay, create a new clean input function. For now, it should just return an empty slice of strings. The purpose of this function will be to split the user's input into words based on whitespace. It should also lowercase the input and trim any leading or trailing whitespace. For example, hello world. Create a new file for some unit tests. I called mine REPL test since I can put clean input in a new file. REPL.go. But you can organize your project your way. The only requirement is that test file ends in _test. Create a test suite for the clean input function. Here's the basic structure of the test file. Key. It will affect other people, but can you put live either low latency or normal latency? Ultra low latency seems to increase network pooling a lot, which affect people's on shit connections like me. It is on ultra, I think. But I did not know that had any impact on the person on the other side. I don't think I can change it now. Yeah, I don't think I can change it now, but I don't think I'm going to change it really in general because I personally want it on ultra low latency. So, you know, I am, if that means that your connection is worse, it does suck. I am sorry about that, but I don't want to have a big lag between me and people chatting. Yeah, it's set to ultra low latency. Yeah, so if that causes issues for you, man, I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, REPL.go. REPL test.go. I guess we're just going to put this in package main. I actually don't know. Okay. We need to find a function. Clean input. And it takes a slice of strings. Let's just input like that. And what does it return? Oh no. It returns a slice of string. And it takes in a string. So for now, we'll just return that. Okay, so let's do cases equals an anonymous struct, an array of anonymous structs, input string, expected. And then inside here, we'll define our cases. So we'll just start with input is going to be hello world, just some trailing space there. And then expected, right, would be hello world. Okay, and then we'll write our test, and I believe this is function. Where's our snips? We don't have any snips. Okay, so we'll just do function. What do we want to call it? Oh, he didn't actually. Okay, actually, then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have a name. Should trim leading or trailing white space up here like that. Okay, then we just have to say for cases. Case. Oh, for C. Range over cases. And then we need to call our function. So we need to say, what do we need to say? Results equals clean input, pass in C dot input, and we should T dot, is it fail? If result C dot expected continue, otherwise T dot fail So this was received but expected %B. Okay, and then we should be able to use my handy little yeah, I'm gonna do that. Isn't that how you run all the tests? I think it's dot / dot dot. 3 dots. I was missing a dot. Gmod test. That's what I want, but I want to print the name of the test. Go table test, give names to tests. See, in the previous example, test cases were stored in a slice of structs. They can be stored in a map as well. There are several advantages of doing this. One advantage of using maps is that the name of each test can simply be the map index. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I can do this. I don't think I've learned this about Go, so I can do t dot parallel. Very cool. And then what I'll do is we'll have our cases. And I'll just stick to what I'm doing here. But what I'll do is inside the loop, I'll call t run. We'll give it C name. Like that. And then we'll move this. Oops. To there. And then you can also call T parallel again here. So now what we'll do is we'll say WXR. We'll say watch for any changes to Go files and run test.sh. Cool. So it failed, obviously. But now we have a name for our test, which is great. Love that. Although I don't understand why it added a forward slash here. Should trim leading and or... Oh, because I put one there. Now if we run this again, we should see the same thing, but this got updated, which is great. Wonderful. Now let's try to make it pass, yeah? So we'll go over to clean input, and what would be the first thing we want to do? I guess the first thing we want to do is we want to say words. Or actually, let's do normalized, right? And so normalized is equal to strings dot trim. And we can pass in our input. And then we will say words is equal to strings dot split. And we will do normalized and we will split on spaces. Okay, why are you angry? We require more than one argument. String and cut set string. Trim returns a slice of the string S with all leading and trailing Unicode points contain. That's not what I want. I want trim space. And then here we'll just return words. And now we're passing. See? So now we have a successful pass. Wonderful. I don't know why I'm recording a macro. Good to see you, War Guy. Are you East Coast? Jesus, it's almost 4 a.m. here. I am not East Coast. I am Central Time. I'm in Kansas, Kansas City, Kansas. So yeah, it's I don't really get many people that live in the States in my stream. Usually I think it's people in other time zones. I've got people from Australia, people from New Zealand. Yeah, there's not too many people in the US awake at 4 a.m. I usually start streaming around 4:15, somewhere between 4:15 and 5, depending on how late I stayed up the night before. All right, let's add some more test cases here. So we should be able to trim leading white space. What else? We need to normalize, right? So if this was got to catch them all, should normalize words. Of course, that's going to fail. So let's do REPL go. I noticed something. I noticed something about my. Let's see, we're gonna watch for Go file changes, and we'll run Go test dot SV. Okay, so that failed, which is what we want. Huh. Wonder if my plugin's broken. There should be a little green indicator down here, or red indicator. It's funny when you build your own tools and you start using your own tools, then then you notice every little detail that's wrong with it. Go. So it wasn't test.sh. Looks good. There we go. Huh. I don't know why that wasn't showing up earlier, but now we have a little indicator that's basically our red light, green light, and we don't really have to look beyond that as long as we're not concerned with what's happening. So what do we want to do? So normalized is trim white space, but let's actually rename this to trimmed. And let's actually do normalized up here. And we'll pass in our input up here. Then we'll pass normalized here. So now we should see that light turn green, hopefully. But it did not. So why do we think that happened? So two lower hands of SPAC normalized. Normalized gets passed to trim. And trim gets passed to split by words. Returns S with all Unicode characters mapped to their lowercase. Oh, because my expected is wrong here. So this should actually be got to catch them. And then this should be a lowercase all. Now it turns green. What a good feeling. So what else did he want this function to do? So he wants it to split the user's input into words based on white space. It should also lowercase the input and trim any leading or trailing white space. I guess I'll just add an explicit test here that says I'm also going to start this with it, since that isn't redundant with the way Go tests are written. And I'm going to say Stephen Reborn. It should split words at white space. Although, I actually think I'm going to do this. So let's actually make sure that we split on multiple. So let's say we have 2 there and we have 1 here, right? So if we have 1, this should still work. But I think if we have another one... Oh, did I have a time? Oh, I forgot to start my thing with notifications. Termato. Okay, we'll finish this. We'll finish this one and then we'll take a little break. So that should still pass. But if we add a second one, does that still pass? No. So we actually want to split on like a pattern. So we have split, and split can be a string. But we'd actually like to do, is there another split method on here? Split after, no, no, no. Split sequence, no. Try something a little new here. Split pane down. Yeah, I'll split it down. Make this a little bigger. Let's see. Is there a method in Go that allows splitting by a regex pattern? Okay, split all substrings. Oh, so you have to use a different, use the regex library instead of the strings library. Okay. Regex must compile, give it your pattern, then split. Oh, we're going to still need strings, though. We still need strings. We just want to do here. We want to do re equals regex dot must compile. We do backtick literal, and then we say we want a single space, at least 1 or more, right? That's the plus. And then instead of using strings.split, we do re.split. Split slices into substrings separated by expression, returns a slice of the substrings. The count, count determines the number of substrings to return. Okay, so I want -1 because I want all. There we go. And now we're back to passing. Lovely. Lovely. I kind of wonder if I could do this better, though. Like, I almost wonder if I could do like an iter roll here. What method does this have? Split? No. I feel like I might be able to do that better. But it's good enough. Okay, we created our clean input function. Then I loop over the cases and run the tests. Implement the clean input function, make the test pass. Then we need to submit our check. And I think I'm going to do that over here, split 2. And then I'm going to do exclamation point, not exclamation point, I'm going to do CD Pokedex CLI. We'll just submit that. Okay. Man, I don't know what it is with the lo-fi generators. Huh. The lo-fi generator's not doing it for me this morning. It's not it, man. It's just not it. You guys let me know if that's too loud. Okay. REPL stands for read, eval, print loop. It's a common type of program that allows interactivity. You type in a command, the program evaluates it and prints the result. You can then type in another command and so on. Your native terminal's command line is a REPL. Our Pokedex will also be a REPL. Okay. Here's what your program should be able to do after this step. Pokemon help. Pokedex exit. Pokedex, what even is a Pokemon? Pokedex is our own custom command line prompt. The program waited and recorded my input in the first instance, help me, and didn't continue until I pressed enter. Remove your hello world logic. Create support for a simple REPL. Create a buffio.scanner that reads from os.standardin, for example. When you later call scanner.scan, it will block and wait for input until the user presses enter. Start an infinite for loop. This loop will execute once for every command the user types in. We don't want to exit the program after just one command. Use format.print to print the prompt without a new line character. Use the scanner scan and .text methods to get the user's input as a string. Clean the user's input string, capture the first word of the input, and use it to print your command was, and then test your program. You can terminate the program by pressing Ctrl-C. Run the CLI again and T the output to a new file called repl.log. Use this as the first input. Okay. So, This ideally would be testable, right? So let's just go ahead and implement it as it says, and then we will refactor it. So we want an infinite for loop, and we should print Pokedex in our prompt. And then we should use buffio.scanner. Buff.io scanner. Scanner equals buffio.scanner. New scanner. It takes an IO reader. So what do we pass to the IO reader? os.standard in. Okay. And then we need to use the scanner. So what does scanner have on it? .scan. Scan advances to the next token, which will then be available through the scan bytes or scanner text method. Returns false when there are no more tokens, either by reaching the end of the input or error. Okay. So we need to do something like I don't know why I can't find music that. So we should be able to say while scanner.scan. Oh no, they don't. It doesn't have a for loop. So for scanner.scan. So it's scanner.scan. Okay. I'm going to take this out of the for loop just so I can test it. So this should be token. And what does scan return? Scan returns a bool. Oh no, I had it right. So for scanner scan, then format dot print scanner.text. Now the question is, I don't know. Why are you angry? Scanner is used in scan loop at line 14 without final check of scanner.error. Okay, so if, I guess we should check for that. If scanner.error. If error does not equal nil, we should probably format print. What is it? I think it's scanner encountered error. I think it's %W, right? For the error format. I guess I got that wrong. So what's the best way to print an error? Okay, so we should treat it as %S. Okay. So let's go ahead and test this, yeah? So we'll go run. Hi, how are you doing? We just echoed that back. Which is good. Now what if it's a long command, right? What if we do, hi, today is the day that I catch so many Pokemon. Chat won't know that they've been watching a Pokemon streamer this whole time. They will be so surprised. Okay, so it did capture it. Okay, cool. So now let's run this in a loop. Sorry, I didn't get that. And then we can do, I guess this, we really should just continue, right? Okay. Now there's a way we can extract this into an interface that we can test. So for example, if we have an interface that accepts an IO reader, we can actually just pass in our own reader and then verify that it captures the right thing. We can also do the same thing with the IO writer, I think. Yeah. So IO writer. So how would we refactor? Well, first of all, let's make sure that we haven't missed any of the other functionality. Okay. So we'll do cleaned input equals clean input pass in our scanner.text. And then we are going to say your command was an S. Now we probably should do a check here, some defensive driving, right? So we should probably say if cleaned input or length of clean input. We need at least one thing in there, right? So if it's less than 1, we'll just say sorry, couldn't. What do I want to say? Sorry, couldn't understand that. Okay, but we need to loop. So after we print, we need to loop back to the top and print the Pokedex again. But we seem to stay in this inner loop right here. So do we need to just call scanner.text until... Let's try that. Let's move this outside of here. We can actually use this inside there. Otherwise, we still want to do this, but instead of doing that, we're going to do... And I actually think, doesn't Go have a string builder actually? I'm pretty sure they have a string builder. I'm almost certain they do. Go string builder. Oh, it's literally, okay, it's strings dot builder. So then what we do is we say input dot write string. And then here we'll do scanner or do input dot string. So my hope is then now this will exit and then we'll actually get the Pokemon to get printed again. Yeah, it's not. I'm pretty sure this says scan advances the scanner to the next token, which will then be available through the bytes. It returns false when there are no more tokens, either by reaching the end of the input or an error. After scan returns false, will return any error that occurred during scanning, except that if it was io.eof or scanner.error. Scan panics if the split function returns too many empty tokens without advancing the input. This is a common error for scanners. Huh. So how do we scanner.scan read all user input from standard in? Yeah, standard in. I don't know. This music's not doing it for me either. Maybe it's just lo-fi in general. Maybe I've just burnt myself out on lo-fi. We'll try the lo-fi generator one more time. Hey, what's up? Mia Pineapple. Suggestion F0 GX AX OST. Mia Pin Mia Pin Sip. What? Okay, I don't know what any of that means. But also nice username. Oh, that's a I should have looked to the left. I see it's an emote. I need to find a way how to tag those emotes in my chat so I know in my terminal chat. Good morning, Mark. Nice to see you. F0GX/AX is a video game. What kind of video game? F0? Good morning, Mark. Nice to see you. Especially for coding with a good OST. What is OST? It's a racing game? Okay. So OST is what? Good OST. All these abbreviations, man. Oh, original soundtrack. You can tell I'm not up on all the internet slang, huh? I'm doing good, Mark. Yeah, life's good, man. I'm trying to build a Pokedex and Go right now. So life is simple. Okay, I think this should be working. Why isn't this working? Got a Riz on that original soundtrack, no cap. Ain't be found dead in no Ohio. You don't like emo music? I don't know, I kind of like emo music. Is this... If you mean whatever's on right now, I feel like one could do better. Oh, the pineapple, or the... Sorry, I didn't say... I don't know why I said pineapple. The music that's on right now is just lo-fi music. Yeah, it's just meant to be kind of background stuff. So I don't get striked on YouTube for copyright. It uses this... it's algorithmically generated, which is kind of nice for avoiding copyright stuff. But yeah, for sure, we could definitely improve the music on the stream. That would require me investing time and effort into finding music that isn't copyrighted and also sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, it is, yeah. I'm not surprised that you think it sounds that way. Okay, I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong here with the scanner. Video game soundtracks normally do not fall afoul of copyright stuff. Yeah, I call bullshit on that because every time somebody recommends me a playlist that supposedly isn't copyrighted or isn't claimed, it gets claimed on YouTube. So until you verifiably have streamed while playing that and you can report back to me that it doesn't get your video claimed, I'm not using it, brosif. Yeah. So that's I stream on Twitch and YouTube, so I need something that's safe in both places. And as somebody who watches a lot of streams where Twitch gets the music and YouTube doesn't, I fucking hate that. Okay, I'm stuck. Scanner.scan, input right string, scanner.text. Is there a reason it wouldn't come back to the top? No? This should definitely continue, though. So why wouldn't we come back to the top? We're just stuck here. Well, I guess actually, hold on. I guess I'm actually wrong because it does come back to the top, right? Because if I do hi, well, I broke it. Was working. What did I change? Now I don't remember. Okay, there's Pokedex. Okay, I changed something. I don't know what I changed. It was working. Well, here's an OST. I can guarantee it's safe to stream because I own it. Okay, let me see. I'm always very suspicious of links on the internet. Suspicious. Let's see, this is, we'll just see this one. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it shut down properly. Shut it down. try the other one. Maybe I borked that one. Say connect. Start. Come on. Come on, little VM. It's an itch page for a game soundtrack I compose. It includes a link to listen to some of it for free on SoundCloud. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I just don't want to click on a link on my personal machine. I'm going to click on it in a VM. You know, you got to have that operational securities when you're dealing with untrusted parties. Damn it, I forgot what I set the password to my VM as. Ah, there we go. Ah, there we go. Got it. That seems excessive to me, to be honest. But hey, you do you. Hey, man, if you're in the habit of just randomly clicking on links for sent by strangers on the internet, you do you, man. You do you. Harbernark? What's that? What? Is it a game? Interesting. You built a game? That's cool. I'm actually more interested in the game than the soundtrack. That's cool. A friend of mine made the game. I made the... Oh, that's very cool, man. Huh. Interesting. I like the style of the video game. The artwork and stuff. Whoever did that, that's really cool. Okay, now where's the SoundCloud link? Oh, I had to enable DRM to play it. Oh, I don't even know. Can I get sound from the virtual machine? I actually don't know. Okay, seems safe enough. It's a SoundCloud link. Yeah, it's interesting that Firefox doesn't implement that out of the box. Very interesting. Key. SoundCloud.com. So is that what you do for a living? Is make music? Interesting. It's kind of got like a synth wave, I guess, beat to it. So it's not really my cup of tea. I don't want to be rude. It's not really my cup of tea, but I'm sure people like this. But it's okay. Kind of like that one. Methindrone. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Also, please remember I'm n equals 1 and I'm a 33-year-old dad of 2 living in Kansas, so I might not be the best judge of what good taste is. Oh, I like phenobarbital. Yeah. That's good. Hey, you're good at this.
I'm Hannah. I've lost 75 pounds in 20 months with GLP-1s, plus diet and exercise.
Did I just get slammed with an ad?
Struggling
I got slammed with an ad on.
mile to running farther.
I was like, why are we talking about GLP-1s? I was like, did you? Yeah, you're good at it. You're good at it. That's very good. Yeah, that's awesome. What I do for a living is web app development mostly. Oh, okay. So web developer by day and musician by night. Very cool. Yeah, that's very cool. What? Why the names? Why did you pick chemical chemical names for all your? What's the story behind that? Call me a Renaissance fruit. Nice. Well, thank you very much for sharing it. Let's see, because the game is Harbor Narc, you play a caught fighting drug dealers and such. Oh, interesting. Hmm. That's very cool. Well, that's way more creative than I am. I've never made a video game before. Let's see. We want to just go ahead and turn it off. Okay, we need to figure out why the scanner's not scanning. It's a lot of work, but very rewarding. I could see that, yeah. I could see it being a very fun way to do self-expression. You know, like another way to do, you know, some people make videos, some people write blogs and articles and books and stuff. Some people make games to express their viewpoints. And one time I made a video game where you pee on. Well, that's one form of self-expression for sure. Okay, I'm stuck. We're gonna have to go to the clanker. I don't understand why the. Let's see. I'm using scanner dot scan in Go to read all input from standard in. However, it seems to just block forever. Let's see. If you run the program directly in a terminal, you must manually trigger EOF after typing your input. Alternatively, if you pipe data or redirect from into, EOF is sent automatically when the stream finishes. Okay, if your goal is to read all standard in directly into a single string, io.readall is often more convenient than buff.io scanner. Okay, so then why is boot.dev recommending me use this guy? That's a good question. I don't know. Okay, it's time for a break. Yeah. Been at this for a little while. Well, apparently, yes, I'm not breaking on it, but apparently you can't receive it on standard in until you reach end of line, but you have to manually trigger that. I wonder if they're not expecting me to loop. What do you think? Okay, hold on. I know I said I was going on break, but let's so I bet they are not planning on me doing this. What do you want to bet? I'll bet that. We don't need this anymore. Hold on. We need the scan call. We don't need the for loop. We do need the error check. Do need this. Well, scan won't return. Scan won't return. You're supposed to call. You're supposed to, according to text. Yeah, I wonder if it would catch the new line if you entered it. That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna try this. I'm guessing this is what he probably intended me to do. Why are you angry? There we go. Okay, that's what he intended me to do. Ah, okay, cool. I was trying to do too much. So now we just need to print new line. Yo, boy. Your command was yo. Here we have a REPL. That is cool. Okay. Now we can take a break. I'm going to put some water on to boil. That's a weird API. It is a weird API. Yeah, I will agree with that. I used it quite a bit when I was doing when I was learning Go last fall in advent of code. We used it quite a bit to read CSV files and text files line by line. But it's kind of a strange guy. All right, be right back. I'm just gonna put some water on. Let's see. We got this cup. We got this cup. Oh, I forgot. We should also put on the coffee can. All right. Tell you what, it's been a quiet stream this morning. Am I still connected? Good morning. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I also want to test. I added a new command for members. Let's try. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, it's because I'm not connected. Oh, I don't have speaker bot up. That's probably why. Speaker bot.exe. Connect. There we go. Let's try to re-queue that. Re-queue. Huh. Let's see, inspect after run. User is sponsor false. But I am a mod. So I would think that'd be true. Let's see. Success is false. Voice name is you. Oh, okay. Why are we getting voice name you out of there? Hey, Mr. Pineapple. Yeah. The speak only works with the speak only works if you're a Twitch subscriber or a YouTube
Did we
member.
just become best friends?
Thanks for the follow, X-Hister. Appreciate that. But I haven't actually tested it yet, so I'm trying to see if it even works. Where? Inspect after run. Raw input is just good morning. Oh, interesting. So this is going to run on every single message. That might be a bad... Ah, yes. So this is me being a dummy when I set this up last night. I didn't set it up right. My break took longer than 5 minutes, and it should have probably known that was going to happen. Hey, dude, what are you doing? Well, we are doing some boot.dev. We are also trying to test a new little speech command I set up for my Twitch subscribers and my YouTube members that isn't working right because I didn't do it right. Okay, delete this. Yes, delete that. Then we need to add a command. Command triggered. And we want the speak command. Okay. Now, but good to see you. Okay, now let me try this. We're gonna do YouTube speak. Good morning. Or we also have to say Jimbo. Good morning, chat. Okay, the MacBook died. The MacBook's hard drive failed.
Good morning, chat.
It worked. Nice. Yeah, so basically, from what I read online, I didn't get a chance to talk to Oblivious yet, but from what I read online, based on the tool I ran, the hard drive reported a failed status, but it looks like I could probably fix it if I really wanted to. But then when I was thinking about it, I thought, will I ever trust this thing enough to host something that I care about on it? And the answer to that was no. So I'm just going to retire it. It served me well. I got it in 2012. I was a sophomore in college. I was personal training like 30, 40 hours a week. Me and my wife lived in an apartment. I was going to Missouri Southern for college. I lived in Joplin, Missouri. It was just I was thinking about it the other day when I was, messing with it yesterday. I was just thinking how much time that MacBook represents in my life, 12, almost 14 years. I'm 33 now. I got it when I was probably 21 or 20 years old or something. So it's fried. So I'm retiring it. Victor, the speak command, those commands, I limit them to members of my YouTube channel, subscribers of my Twitch channel, and moderators of my channel. So if you would like to use text-to-speech, you can become a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch. Or you can just do normal super chats. All that stuff still works. Super chats, donos, those still work. Let's see. Now let me try I have a cooldown set on it. So I think my cooldown is 5 minutes for users. I also have a voices command I need to try. Make sure that works. So we can do speak. Let's try Bill. No, Charlie. A wise man once said, AI makes you dumber.
A wise man once said AI makes you dumber. A wise man once said AI makes you dumber.
Okay, it works. Cool. Does the cooldown work though? Let me see. I don't know if the cooldown works.
Good morning, chat.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem... I don't know if the cooldown works for me because I'm a mod. But I think it'll work for other people. In Dota, the speak command it's only for subs and members. Subs of Twitch and members of YouTube. It was requested by people's... What's the how do I configure that over here? Speak. Cooldowns. So we have a 60-second global cooldown and a 300-second user cooldown. So once every, I don't know, 5 minutes seems like a long time. Let's just do 120. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me test that. I apologize for the annoyance there. I just wanted to make sure that worked. But also good to see y'all. One day I'll have that kind of money. No worries, no worries. Yeah. Nobody needs to do it. It's just something fun that people requested, and I figured, hey, if someone's willing to support my channel for, you know, $1 or whatever it is a month, I'm happy to throw some entertainment their way. Plus, I'm kind of a sucker for text-to-speech. It's my favorite part of the streams that I hang out in. I'll be right back. I'm going to take this 9-factor programmer self-assessment I'm making. Bad news, 9 factors means it's going to be a lot of questions. Huh. Sounds interesting. You've been watching for 15 consecutive streams, Dota. Thank you very much, man. That's super kind. You don't really have to you don't have to come all the time if you have other things to do, but that's really appreciated. Thank you. You got nothing else to do? Is that a compliment? I don't know. I'll take it as a compliment. I mean, at least my stream is interesting enough to be at the bottom of the list. You know, I could not even be on the list. So it could be worse. Could be worse. Let's see. So here, let's go ahead and do that. Do that. Let's go back to our Pokedex. The fact you stream early morning makes it easy. Yeah, I figured, I mean, honestly, that's the same reason I stream early in the morning, is because it's like, what else is going to conflict with it, right? So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, it's something I want to do, but if I don't do it in the mornings, I probably won't do it. You know, something else will crowd it out, whether it be family or work related. So this works out good for me. We need to go to git ignore. Want to ignore REPL.log. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to say go run, type it to t REPL.log. And then we're going to say Charmander is better than Bulbasaur. And then we'll say Pikachu is kinda mean to Ash. I don't know if I agree with that. And then terminate the program by pressing Control C. Okay, let's cat the REPL. REPL.log. Okay. Now let's submit our check. So it's expecting the standard out to contain all of. Your command was. Okay, I think I'll pass, so I'm going to go ahead and submit it. Why do you have Pokemon on thumbnail? We are building a Pokemon. Sorry, not a Pokemon. We are building a Pokedex. CLI Pokedex. It's part of boot.dev. It's part of their guided projects, part of their curriculum. So let's see, we're here. Dashboard. Where are we? We're down here. Build a Pokedex. This guy. And I've been trying to make an effort to have more like creative thumbnails and not just use the same thumbnail for weeks on end. So that's my attempt at making a relevant, somewhat creative, somewhat fun thumbnail. I'd like to give kudos to the same server dev because he's the only person I work closely with. Thanks for his help on insert some activity. Gets a bit tiring. Fair enough, fair enough. The only reason I haven't complained is I don't want to be the guy that stops. Using Bulbapedia's database, I suppose. I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just going to be kind of like an in-memory. But I honestly don't know. I'm only on lesson 5. And of chapter 1, it looks like there's 3 chapters. So I'm just kind of working through their requirements as they come. Let's see, remove your logic that prints the first word, the command back to the user. Add a callback for the exit command. Excuse me, commands in our REPL are just callback functions with no arguments, but that return an error. For example, function command exit. This function should print closing the Pokedex goodbye, then immediately exit the program. Create a registry of commands. This will give us a nice abstraction for managing many commands we'll be adding. I created a struct type that describes a command. Then I created a map of supported commands. Register the exit command. Update your REPL loop to use the command the user typed in the lookup. The callback function in the registry. If the command is found, call the callback and print any errors that are returned. If there isn't a handler, just print unknown command. Test your program, obviously. Add a help command. It's callback and register. It should print. Okay. I think we can do that. Let's just create a new, do commands.go. We'll probably want to test this at some point. Or should we challenge ourselves and test it up front? I don't know how you would test os.exit is called. How to test os.exit is called. What the code does is invoke go test. I'm reading a Stack Overflow post. This is, I guess, how you. Oh, sorry. This is, I guess, how you test os.exit scenarios. How old is this post? 11 years. But I guess once you answer this once, you don't really need to answer it again. Test coverage. Also, why is this so gosh dang dark, bright? Let's see, additional advanced techniques. Okay, sub-process test. Sometimes you need to test the behavior of a process, not just a function. To test this code, we invoke the test binary itself as a sub-process. Interesting, okay. So we can test that. We should challenge ourselves to write the test. Take it as feature, implement on your own. Implement my own, like go further on the Pokedex than what boot.dev requires. I don't know if I'll do that. My main goal with boot.dev is to reach Archmage. So I don't know if I'll spend a ton of extra time whittling at the programs there. But not a bad idea for somebody who doesn't know what they want to spend time building. My problem right now is I have too many ideas. Okay, let's try the first. Okay, actually, hold on. Before we move on to the command section, let's actually get this. Let's get this into a testable shape. So if we were looking at main.go, what are we doing here? We're printing to the screen. So we'd want to make sure that this is printed, right? We would want to make sure that if scanner did encounter an error, that we print a message to the user. We also should probably delineate that it is us that's doing the message. So let's go ahead and make this a const. What do we call it? Leader? Prompt, I guess. Prompt means something different now in 2026 than it used to, but let's not do that here. Let's do that once we refactor. So we know we want to do this. We know we want to do this. So I think what we need to do is we need to abstract this to where we can pass in, I guess, an os.reader and os.writer and just verify that we read into that writer, or we read the values into the reader that we would expect, and we write to the writer that we would expect. Now the question is, I know we learned about this in Go with Test, but I can't remember how you do it. Go with tests. Yeah, separate the IO from everything else. Good point. So I know he talks about this somewhere. So you have search io.reader. Testing. Does he talk about in here? Also, why is it why are we in light mode? I guess this site just has light mode. Okay, that doesn't seem to fix it. There we go, down here. I was like, dang, why is this so bright? I don't remember this website being that bright. Get the TD tennis right. You're safe for my critique for a bit. Your main function is going to be hard to test as written. Yes, we need to refactor that main function for sure. Working, not. I think it might be where he talks about interfaces, maybe where he does this. Go fundamentals. So we basically just need something that accepts an IO reader, and then we need to pass that, right, to the different methods that take it. Okay, so what do we need to extract? What do we want to extract out of here? We definitely want to extract out the scanner. This is very TDD oriented. The site format print should be calling interface. Yes, yes, indeed. Yeah, that site is great. Yeah, learn Go with test. The whole thing is about. The whole thing is you're supposed to basically it teaches you to write Go, but it does it in a TDD format. It's very good. It's written by a guy named what's his name? Chris. I think his name's Chris James. If I remember right. Yeah, Chris James, yeah. Apparently it's a very popular resource people use to learn Go. I think Chat was the one that recommended it to me last year after we did Tour of Go. And it was good. It was good. It's very long. It's definitely a long book. But it's good. But it's been like 3 to 6 months since I've written any Go, and now I feel like I've forgotten everything. I know TDDers that went from Java to Go, so that makes sense. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing. The great Java migration. The great Java to Go migration. I'm a TDDer, but I'm not so struck in languages or even being so strict working in it. Yeah, I don't know what you would consider me. I guess I'm I believe in TDD, and I always regret whenever I don't write tests. But there are definitely times where I don't do the whole write the test. You know what I mean? There's times where I don't stick to that workflow super strict. Hey, Steven, just finished 15 hours of landscaping. It's 11 p.m. Holy moly, bro. That's what you spent all Saturday doing? 15 hours of landscaping? Was that paid, or was that just because you wanted to do it? Wow. That's crazy, dude. 30 metric tons. Holy. Well, it fits your grandma. You know what I mean? You do anything for your grandma, bro. Both my grandmas have unfortunately passed on, but yeah. Whatever grandma wants, grandma gets, right? That's crazy. Was it fun using the excavator though? I bet that was a blast. Yeah, that's very cool. Well, I bet you're worn out, man. Don't feel the need to hang around here. If you're ready to shut your eyes and just veg out or play on the computer or watch TV or whatever, man, definitely don't feel the need to stay up or hang around here. Oh, you bent the bucket. Oh shit. So does that mean you have to pay like extra money, or does the rental have insurance? Or oh, but you hired an excavator, so maybe. No, I was having beers and went, oh, Steven. Oh, nice. Okay, very cool. Well, so are you on the hook for the bent bucket? Okay, that's good. that's good. Oh, hey, we tested this earlier, but it should work now. I hooked up the speak command. So you can do this now. Try. You can do voices. We'll show you a list of the voices. And you can also do speak Jimbo. Hello, Kale.
Hello, Kale. Hello, Kale.
I put Jimbo in there just for you. Yeah, Jimbo's supposedly the Aussie accent. Let's see, it would make sense if the bucket regularly gets replaced. Yeah, I don't know, man. I would be scared of being on the hook, but hey, if they don't notice. Oh, it didn't work for you. Why didn't it work for you? Oh, that sucks. What the fuck? Oh, do you think that's what it was? Jimbo. So why isn't it working for you? Damn, I thought we had it dialed in. Okay, let me try something. Okay, that your message came in and it did trigger it. You are subscribed. User is a sponsor. So why the frick didn't it work? Oh, I wonder if it's because of the cooldown. Hold on, let me try to re-queue it. Because I have a global cooldown. I wonder if I set it off when I did it. No? Well, shit, man. I was excited to show that to you. Now I feel like I screwed it up. Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, hold on. I gotta fix the code I wrote. Okay. So this is kind of I know this is not really on topic for what we're doing, but this is actually kind of cool. So one of the things this application does that I use for streaming, it's called StreamerBot. It lets you write C# code basically, right? So you can basically implement your own whatever action you want. If you can express it in code, you can make it work for you. So I actually have a bug here where this won't resolve to Twitch or YouTube because if we're looking at this will actually need to be command source. So this will be command source. Let's see. So if you're a moderator, you can do it. If you're a user sponsor or a Twitch sub, and then we just make sure that you're going to the right place, right? Yeah. So this is one of my favorite things about StreamerBot. It embraces C#. And it makes doing whatever you want super straightforward. So I think that compiled. Yeah, compiled successfully. Wonderful. So go ahead and save and compile that again. And then I'm going to re-trigger this again.
Hard yards today.
There we go. There we go. Now it works. Where's the middle of the screen chat? I moved it. Since I moved my camera to the right, I'm just using term chat as the on-screen chat now. Okay. This needs to be reset because we did not spend 25 minutes. Term chat, also made by Steven. Yes, I did make term chat. I found a bug in it though. I've been testing. I've been using it every day, you know, to test. And I found a test in it, or a bug in it. This guy's genius as fuck. No, I'm not genius. I'm not genius. Not at all. Old one was better. Fair enough. Fair enough. I feel like the term chat's more on. I feel like the term chat's more on brand for me, but that's fair. Totally fair. I feel like the one benefit of the on-screen chat was emotes worked, I think, and you got a little bit better aesthetic, but I'm currently testing my app. So the stream actually serves two purposes. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we'll have a function and we'll say run REPL. And we should have a reader, which is going to be a io.reader, and a writer, which is going to be io.writer. And so then we should be able to take what's in here, and for the most part, I think we should be able to put this into here. How does the chat work? Is it YouTube API or did you scrape and listen to chat? So it works with the API. So that's actually one of the. I can actually show you the code. I'm gonna make it public at some point. I've been putting a lot of time and effort to it, and I'm actually kind of super proud of it. And I want it to be, whenever I do put it out, I want it to be good. So when people use it, they don't think I just slopped it together. which is a real that's a real that's a real threat in today's day and age. But I can show you the code. So it uses the Twitch API and it uses the YouTube API. The one downside about the YouTube API is actually that they have a very narrow quota usage. So like if I actually had like a popular Twitch channel or a very popular stream, I would probably use up that quota really fast. It's like 10,000 whatever, however they measure their quota usage, it's 10,000 units of that quota. And each call that you make against their API has a certain usage associated with it. And so once you go beyond that usage, they cut you off. So that's one of the downsides on it. You can get a larger usage, but you have to go through like this. It's a pretty involved, you have to submit an application, you have to give them your code, you have to explain what the use case, like it's a very involved thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a limitation. The Twitch API isn't like that though. Yeah, 10,000 per account or per IP. Yeah, exactly. What's your take on the 1,000-hour rule of programming? I think the I don't know about the 1,000-hour, but I think that the 10,000-hour rule, you know, that's kind of like the classical way, you know, put in 10,000 hours, become an expert. I think that's a pretty, I don't know if it's actually 10,000 hours, but the what do you call it? The message behind it, I fuck with the message. Like this idea that you just need reps. If you want to be good at something, you got to put in the reps. I preach it to my sons all the time. Like when my kids are saying, oh, he's so good at this, or oh, they're so smart, or that person's better than I am, I just always remind them, like, I guarantee that person has spent more time doing that thing than you have. And if you wanted to be good or on the same level as them, the only thing you need to do is put in the time and effort. Now, granted, I'm a realist. I understand no matter how much basketball I play, I'm not going to be Michael Jordan. But I am a believer in, if you want to be good at something, you got to put in the time and the effort. Yeah, 1,000 hours. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a number. I think some of it has to do with experience and opportunities to be exposed to certain things, right? Like, but I just believe if you want to be good at something, you got to put in the time and the effort. You got to get reps. Okay, so going back to how this works. So basically, when the app starts up, we make some requests against the YouTube API and the Twitch API. And because I built the chat primarily for my own personal use case, for streaming, it always looks for the signed in users live streams. So if you're connected to Twitch and you're connected to YouTube, or either or, whichever one you're connected to, when the app boots up, it'll immediately check to see if you have a live stream running on your channels, right? Then what it will do is shift. I can actually demo it too. So when we boot up the app, the first thing it'll do is it'll check to see if you're live. So in my case, I'm live on Twitch and YouTube, so it loads in my streams. And then you have the option of connecting or disconnecting accounts, right? So if you want to only connect YouTube, you can do that. Or if you want to only connect Twitch, you can do that too. It's completely up to you. And then the other thing I added was, because I also wanted to use this as like just a general chat client, like when I watch other people's streams like Bash Bunny or Janet A. Carr or Bobby Poff, Tim the Tapman, any of those people that I really like to hang out in their streams, I can add their stream manually here. So if we go and grab, let's see if someone's live here. Is Pirate Software live? Yeah, Pirate Software is live. So Pirate Software is live. So I can just go grab his Twitch channel. Link. And if I come back over here, and I paste it and I enter it, it will just run off, verify that that's an actual, actual channel you can find on Twitch, and that they're live, and it'll show up in my list. So now I can connect to that chat and I can send messages, all that good stuff. So you can do it manually with YouTube or Twitch, and it validates obviously what you enter. So if you put in a Twitch channel that doesn't exist, it'll tell you. If you put in a YouTube live stream that's not live, it'll tell you. It does also persist the messages, and it just persists it to JSON files. It doesn't use like a database or anything. I could switch it over to SQLite, but right now it just uses JSON files on disk. Let's see. Okay, so then how the chat client works. The chat clients are pretty interesting. So you guys kind of got me started on this. It's something that I'm super proud of it. I put a lot of time and effort into it. It is not open source yet, but eventually it will be. I have bugs and I want it to be good. And so before I send it out to everybody, I want to try to work out some of those bugs. Because I've only been using it on stream for like a week now. So there's definitely like, I still need to implement watch streak for Twitch. I still need to implement, there's a bug with raids where when somebody raids another Twitch channel, it reports that they sent 0 viewers in the raid, but they sent. So there's like bugs like that I need to work out. So the chat client. So YouTube exposes a gRPC endpoint for chat that they recommend you use. They do have they have a non-gRPC endpoint you can use, but you have to pull obviously. And the nice thing with the gRPC, you don't have to deal with that, right? So it kind of cuts down on your usage. So just creates a gRPC channel with the proper address, connects, and then we just run a loop and we stream in the responses. I am yielding this. I'm using an IEnumerable, which is a really nice C# feature. So this is an IAsync enumerable. And so this manages that kind of running loop persistent connection to gRPC. And then for the Twitch, it's very similar, only Twitch does it over a WebSocket. So Twitch has both IRC, I think they do IRC, and then they also do chat over a WebSocket. So it's very similar code in both places. So this just starts a loop and gets the broadcaster ID, starts a loop, and then has some automatic reconnection logic. So we kind of manage it, and we just use tasks and cancellation tokens. So we run the loop. If something happens, we can use the cancellation token to stop the loop. It's a lot of fun to build. And then on the front end for the UI, I have to give a lot of credit for the UI to this library called Termina is the name of the library. Termina? Let me see. Right here. So this is Termina. They are on GitHub. So if you want to build a TUI in C#, you might consider using Termina. It's pretty great. It's AOT compatible, which means you can make your app super fast on startup, very quick, very small. So that's what handles a lot of the UI components. Like I didn't implement all the UI components. That was large. A lot of that came from the library, the Terminal library. One thing I did implement in the UI that I'm proud of. Let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see. How are you dealing with sanitizing user inputs, like prevent weird Unicode inputs? That is not something I have really thought too much about. So if you guys want to try to, if you want to try to stress test it, you're more than welcome. That's kind of part of the point of using it on stream is to, I'm using it on stream, and then I'm also using it in my personal like content consumption to try to work out all those little issues. Let's see. So one thing I did implement that's kind of cool is one of the things that I don't like doing is I don't like spelling usernames when I want to tag somebody. So I added autocomplete. So if I do @tab, you'll see there's I don't know if you can see it, but there's a list of names that pops up down here that basically shows me all the people in the chat, and then I can cycle through those names with tab the way you would kind of expect to be able to do in a chat client like that. But obviously this is a TUI, so the experience is a little bit different. So that was something that took a little bit to add, but I was super proud of it when I got it working. So yeah, that's my term chat app. I will stop rambling on about it. It's one of those projects that I stopped working on it on stream because I was sick and tired of people talking about like, why aren't you vibe coding? Why don't you just use AI to do this? AI could one-shot this. And I was like, you know what? That's not the point, man. It's the point is I'm having a really, really fun time building something that I care about and that I get a lot of value out of using. So I just kind of took it off stream and been working on it in my free time. So that's my chat app. I will definitely let you guys know whenever I get it to a point where I will want to share it. For right now, it's just my little baby. Not that there's anything particularly like earth-shattering about it, right? It's just something you care about. Okay, back to Neobim. Hello, Danny. Sorry I missed your message. Oh, Dira's trying to break it. You might break it. It's interesting. It seems to handle it kind of a similar way that to StreamerBot, because StreamerBot is kind of what inspired the UI. You can kind of see how got the different tabs. I feel like I made the sending behavior better than StreamerBot, because in StreamerBot, if you want to send to just a single platform, you have to actually toggle it off. And I always forget to do that. So I added this functionality in my app where I can just say, so if I only want to send to Twitch, I can say /T hello Twitch, which makes it like really convenient to be connected to both combined chats and then send to the right one that you want without too much thought, which is I thought was pretty smart idea. I wish more apps would implement stuff like that. Good old / commands. I think so many of us have been trained to use / commands that they feel pretty natural and almost native, like they should be in a lot of applications now. A lot of coding agents have / commands. Okay.
Did we just become best friends?
Hey, Nullsec, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Let's see, does it have the feature of reading messages of people instead of you reading? It does not. You mean so it like will read the message out loud? Is that what you mean? I don't have that. I can do that already with SpeakerBot. See you, Gosslayer. Thanks for hanging out, man. Random question. Do you experience any slowness with type completion with TSLS and Neobim? I haven't noticed any, but to be honest, I haven't written a lot of TypeScript in the last couple weeks. But I have not noticed any. Yeah, make it open source. Maybe more geniuses will add more. Yeah, I mean, they're more than welcome. I probably won't. Like I said, it's kind of my baby, so I probably won't accept many PRs, but I'll definitely make it so people, if they want to fork it, they can make it their own. Because I built it very much for me, you know? I built it very much just for what I wanted. What I wanted and the experience, you know, so it's kind of one of those apps where it's like, I'm fine with sharing the code so other people can see what I did, or they want to reuse the code, but may not be accepting contributions. A lot of people just throw up slot PRs now anyways. All right, back to this. So what are we doing here? We are trying to refactor this into a testable state. So we've got our buff.io, which we don't have imported here. So we need to import that. Okay, and then we need OS standard in, which we do not have. Gotta import that as well. But this won't, actually we won't need that because we're gonna pass it our reader. Right? Cannot use R variable of type IO reader as IO reader value. Reader does not implement IO reader. Oh, so do we need to take in, there we go. Now for format.print, does this take a writer? How does that work? Oh, oh yeah, because print calls internally, print calls fprint, right? Yeah, in print it calls fprint. So we just need to call fprint ourselves and pass in the writer. Now some of that Chris James stuff is coming back to me. So we call fprint and we pass in our writer. So now you not happy. Why are you not happy? Oh, do I not want a pointer? The actual thing. Let's see. Interesting approach. I would have just wrapped the scanner class. I guess that would work too, right? But I guess this way I can just pass anything that read or write in my test, then I can verify it, right? It's something about the notes that Lo-Fi generator is generating today. They're just like sharp in my ear. And then any place where we're doing this, we just need to do fprint. The writer. Same thing here. Fprint. Oh, there's a print line, so I don't even need to add a new line. Yeah. Nice. Okay, the clean input though, this that's a little bit, so that's a dependency, right? So clean input is a dependency. The question is, do we want to test that as part of testing run REPL? Or should we accept that as a argument? I think I'll leave it in there for now. I think that's fine. I have tests for it. But I think it's fine. I think I'll just leave it. Also, I violated the I violated TDD already because I did not write the test run REPL. I did not write the test first. Let's see, t.testing.t. Chels likes your thumbnail. Nice. Yeah, I tried. I'm trying to make more of an effort with the thumbnails. I really am. I want to get better at like the image manipulate. Like I see, so there's some streamers I kind of mentioned. There's some streamers that I like to watch, and they always have really good thumbnails. I think they work with like professional artists, but when I always see their thumbnails, I think, man, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. So since I don't have very much money and I don't know any artists, like let me show you. Like Tim the Tap Man always has really funny. Let's see, Tim the Tap Man. He always has really funny thumbnails, right? So like that's so funny. But yeah, I think they work with like professional thumbnail artists. So I feel like the only way I'll ever reach that quality is if I develop the skill myself. So I'm just gonna try to keep working on it. Nothing to write home about, but I am trying. I am trying. Okay, let's just copy this guy. Do I have Photoshop? I don't have Photoshop, but I use GIMP. I use Canva for simple things, and then I use GIMP for more complex things. It's like I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos of people using GIMP, trying to pick up the skill. Maybe that's my next like learning arc, is instead of learning programming and coding, I learn how to be like a graphic editor or graphic designer. I started writing code when my son went back to school, or when my son started school in kindergarten, and he'll be a 5th grader this year. And basically my goal was I wanted to be proficient at programming and coding by the time he finished elementary school, which I feel like by my standards, I've achieved that. So now when he starts middle school, I guess I need to find a new skill to hack on. Oh, thanks, Gail. That's very nice of you to say. I made the thumbnails for a channel called Cosmo. Okay. Well, Kel, you're always welcome to be my thumbnail artist, but you're a busy man already, so please don't put any pressure on. But if you ever want to take a stab at it, you're more than welcome. Hey, these are good, Kale. These are really good. You know what you're doing, man. Yeah, you probably have enough on your plate between a master's and work and girlfriend and home labbing and all that. But yeah, these are very good. They're much better than what I could do right now. I just need to put in reps, you know? I need to put in the reps to get better at it. Hey, what's up, Nullsec? Appreciate you hanging around there on Twitch so you could chat. I apologize. I have a followers only mode over there for 10 minutes, and Twitch won't let me set it any lower than that. I would set it lower if I could, but 10 minutes is the min time, and I have it there so that people don't do like drive-by trolling, and so that my chat stays a relatively nice place to hang out and talk. So appreciate you hanging around. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. You're always up for it, Kale, but just don't overload yourself, man. By the way, I love this chat plugin with the chat. Oh, you like that? Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's a little app I built. I'm guessing you're talking about the one on the screen. Yeah, it's a little app I built. That's what I've been spending most of the last I don't know, 3 to 4 months. Yeah, doing in my free time, in my spare time. Okay, let's do the same thing here. We'll say, let's see, we'll say t dot parallel. And then we'll do the same thing, cases. Set that equal to an array of an anonymous struct. And this will be name string. The input, I guess the input's going to be a writer, right? So what things can I use that are testable? So I can just make a new buffer and pass that in. So buffer implements iReader or iWriter, buffer byte stop buffer go. The algorithm is crazy. I was literally building the exact same thing, but in the terminal. Oh, very cool. Yeah. I've got well, mine's in the terminal as well. But it's in a blast to build. Yeah. I wanted something that unified my YouTube and my Twitch chat, but did it in the terminal. And the only thing I could find out there today to do that was is a Twitch TUI, a Twitch client, but it doesn't support YouTube. And since I wanted to use it for my streams, I wanted something that combined both. And then I also wanted some custom functionality when it came to how I send messages and stuff. So I added it. I just built it myself, you know? That's what you can do when you know how to write code. You can just build the tools you want. That also means you have to then maintain the tools you want, but so be it, right? Yeah, so it implements write and it implements read. Okay. Very cool. So I think the Echo, I'm not talking to you. Echo, go home. Amazon Echo thought I was talking to her. So I can't decide if I should make the input a buffer or a string. I guess I'll make it a string. So we'll say string expected string. And then let's make our first case be the first case from the REPL, which is REPL.go. So the first thing we want to test is we just want to test that it does actually write Pokedex right to the writer. So we'll go over here and we'll say input. Nope. That's from the system clipboard. That. And then we'll say name. It should print custom prompt. And our expected. So I guess our input doesn't need to be anything, does it? Really? In this test case, we just want to make sure that it comes out with that. Then we'll do the same kind of loop. Come down here, same thing. But instead of this, we'll say run REPL, and we'll pass in C dot reader and writer. So I'll have to create those. Hey, what's up, Satya? Good to see you. How you doing? Hope life is treating you well. Okay, so we need in. So this is going to be bytes.buffer. New buffer initializes a new as its initial contents. Takes ownership of the buff. The 0. Should I just new one of these up? And then out. So this will be in and this will be out. Cannot use struct type bytes buffer as IO reader value. Bytes buffer does not implement IO reader method read as pointer receiver. So what do we got going on here? What don't I understand? Bytes.buffer as reader. Let's see. Let's buff IO. So it looks like buff IO can new up a reader. But I don't think I want an IO reader. Okay. This says it does, though. If you look down here on buffer type, oh, it does. It takes a star. It takes a pointer. You can also just new up a reader. What about strings? Does strings have a reader implementation? Strings. How do you get there? Strings. Do you have a reader implementation? Strings.new reader creates a reader. Okay, let's try that. So let's try that for the input, because the input probably should be let's do strings.reader new reader. And we can, so to begin with, there'll be nothing there. Okay, does this strings.writer? No, new. Okay, so we do need to use bytes, but I don't know what this needs to be. Bytes.new buffer string. Creates initializes a new buffer using string s as its initial contents. It's intended to prepare a buffer to read an existing string. New buffer creates and initializes a new buffer using buff as an initial contents. The caller should not use buff after this call. New buffer is intended to prepare a buffer to read existing data. It can also be used to set the initial size. So how do I get a collection of bytes to write from? I'm going to go to the clanker for this one. See what it has to say. Let's see. In Go, how do I use... in Go, I need an in-memory writer that implements io.writer so I can test. Looking at the bytes package documentation, I'm not sure how I should new it up. What say you? Okay. So pre-allocating capacity, let's see. A simple zero value. A zero value bytes.buffer is an empty buffer ready to use. It's standard Go idiom. So just buff bytes buffer. Oh, wonderful. That's way simpler than I made it. New returns a pointer to a zero allocated buffer directly. Buff is already... Okay, I think I like this approach since it hands me back a pointer. So... yeah, I think I'm going to do this right here. Okay, so then this guy becomes bytes.buffer. Then we run the REPL. Now, why are you angry? You still angry? Run REPL, no value. Oh, yeah, there is no value. So if I wanted to get the resulting string, I guess we could say output equals out dot available. String returns the contents of the unread portion of the buffer as a string. If the buffer is a nil pointer, it returns nil. So I think we just want that. So out.string. But I don't think it needs to be... I don't know. Because we're basically going to have the series of lines, right? So we're going to have like the prompt, the user input, the prompt. So I don't really think it should be an equals. It really should be... it also shouldn't be slices. It really should be... this should be smarter, right? It should be like... what do you expect? What line? Maybe it should be slices. What lines do you expect to be in this thing? Yeah, I actually kind of like that better. What are we doing on AI today? Oh, so I've been experimenting with... I use Gemini quite a bit in the web interface to ask questions and do, you know, search and stuff. And so I've been experimenting with turning the Gemini, or I guess now it's called anti-gravity, but basically the Gemini coding agent, which is the anti-gravity CLI. I've been experimenting with basically turning it into sort of like a read-only harness where all it does is basically answer questions and provide feedback and help me troubleshoot things, but does it in the most helpfully unhelpful way, if that makes sense, right? So it's like, I'm going to do everything to help you besides just doing it for you. And so I've been experimenting with using that instead of using the web interface as much, because I feel like it is there's a lot of friction, and sometimes that friction's good, but there's a lot of friction between getting the context of whatever like code base I'm working in or project I'm working in from my machine to that web interface. It just feels there's just like the copy paste. So I've been experimenting with this. So far, it's working pretty well. Actually, since we're on break, I can show you what I've done to configure it that way. It's basically just custom system instructions, and then I like disabled all tool calling in it. So that's why we're in AI. That's why we're in the agent in the terminal. What we're doing today, though, is we're building a Pokedex in Go, is what we're doing today, or for the next little bit. That's the course we're on in boot.dev. So let's go to my .files, and I think it's Ches. I think it's yeah, it's this one. So here's what I did to the permissions, is I basically just disallowed anything that has a side effect to it and only allow these things, right? So basically just like you can look, but you can't do, which seems to be working pretty well. The one pain point with this was then it was constantly like trying to do stuff. Like it had this like almost like this default desire to like want to do everything for me. So then I added a instructions thing, which is, I think it's in Gemini. Yeah. So then I just added this little bit of prompting that basically just says, hey, don't do anything. Like, don't be a researcher, be a pair programmer, but don't try to do things for me. And when I added that seemed to cut down on the eager tool calling that it was doing. So that's how I'm using that's how I'm using agentic harnesses right now in my setup. Is basically I'm using it as almost like a context aware helper, which seems to be on it, and it's in my .files. If you ever get curious, you can look at my .files on GitHub. Dira, do you do anything for sanitation on top of what Termina does? I do not, Dira. Other than, I guess, what maybe YouTube and Twitch do, but I don't do anything further. Dira, you're very curious on how you can break it, aren't you? What's up, Larzanya? Good to see you. Morning. Okay, where was I? Oh, I'm on break. I don't have to do anything. So that's that. Dira, yes, Termina doesn't sanitize properly. It seems like Twitch is doing all the work. Well, I'm sorry that you cannot break it the way you want to break it. Oh shit, it's already 8:11. Okay, let's get the test Okay, let's get the test passing, and then I'm gonna call it. Oh, look, I think Dira just broke it because Twitch disconnected. Twitch disconnected, reconnecting. Is it reconnected? Or maybe I just lost connection. Yeah, it's like 8:11. I can't. That went fast. Let me see if Twitch, are you there? Did at Dira break it? Yeah, I think you broke. I think Dira broke it. There we go. Are you back? Yeah. I don't know what you did, man, but you you broke something. All right, let's get this test implemented. Let's see. Control tab? No. Alt something. Let's go. Control tab. So I can't decide what I want to do here. I guess the first thing I'll do is I'll just do like a blind comparison. So if out equals, are we using Gemini to code today? We are not using Gemini to code, but we are definitely using Gemini for, I've been using it to ask questions. So it's been very helpful. It's moving the question asking from the chat interface of Gemini to the local interface is very helpful because it just has that context. Like if I was stuck on a particular problem, right, I could just say, hey, I'm stuck here, instead of having to copy and paste it. So this should be, let's make this results. It's not local. It's just Gemini. It's just their it used to be called the Gemini CLI, and now it's called anti-gravity. The anti-gravity CLI is what it's called now. And the only reason I use that one is just because I pay for a Google subscription, and I get usage included in that. Let's see, received V, but got, but expected. Okay, let's do this. Nice, yeah, that's what I do, but with local AI, AGI. Yes. Yep, so that's been cool. And so like I don't know if you're here while I was explaining, but I just basically turned it into sort of a read-only version. So it can't call file, it can't write files, it can't execute commands, it can't do anything like that. I just disabled all those permissions, or prevented all those things in the permission settings. Okay, it's failing. So now we should see why it's failing. Expected package found EOF. Okay, I haven't even. Oh, yeah. We'll move those someplace else. Okay, format print line call has possible printf formatting directive. So you would say turn that to that, then add this. I don't understand why that's not okay. Oh, there we go. Like I don't think the REPL's ever closing, so I think it's just hanging open. Right? Because our REPL function never exits. So the question is, how do we make it exit? Do we just send Control C programmatically? I don't know how we would do that. What if we just sent a new line? Would that do it for us? With that. It's just fancy CLI RAG agent. Yeah, basically. It's just a RAG agent that can rep the terminal. I think I've locked up NeoVim. I think I locked it up. Did my... Oh, no, did my keyboard die? What is happening? Why is nothing responding to input? That thing is not responding to input. I don't know why. I broke it. Okay, Control Shift 2. Don't need that guy anymore. We do need a boot.dev. All right, I have no idea what I did, but now it looks like WSL is not. What have I done? There's got to be some sort of orphaned process, right? That's stuck capturing standard. Try to shut down WS. I guess so. Yeah, I don't know what I did. Let's see. Yeah, is there anything I'm using right now that depend? I don't think so. I think I can just end it. Well, I won't do it that way. Let me close Docker. And then I'll do it from the terminal. That's so weird. I did not have breaking WSL on my agenda today. See, something is stuck about. There we go. Did it finally shut down? No, it didn't. Something is blocking. I don't know what it is. So it's in task. Huh. What is this? Dude, I don't know what I don't know what I did. Anybody seen this before? WSL, let's see, WSL won't shut down. Oh, this might be the end of the stream. Is this is the end of the stream? We have to restart the computer. Let's see. Or terminate all. Yeah, I would like to terminate it all. Okay, that time it responded, so that's good. So now let's try to open up a new terminal. Alt F4 computer. I don't know. I don't know what I did. There we go. Now we're live again. Maybe? See, I think something is... I think whatever I did... Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back. Contact administrator when logged in as the administrator. That's great IT. Top-notch IT. I have no idea what I'm doing with a computer. That's why I tell you guys I'm not an expert. I'm not a master. I just stumble. I'm one of those plodding engineers, you know. I just solve the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. All right. So whatever we did, we're not going to do that again. Be good if we knew what we did, but whatever it is, we're not going to do it. So I think the thing is we just don't want to start the REPL. I guess we don't want to start the REPL like that in our test without being able to close it, which seems kind of like a very easy mistake to make. Let's just try this. So basically all I'm doing is I'm saying start the REPL. I want to make sure you print your custom prompt is the first thing you do. And then our input is going to be a new line. And I'm hoping that the new line triggers the REPL to exit. And I think I'm going to run it outside of my NeoVim so that I can see what's happening. So we'll do go test. Okay, that doesn't break, but I can't interrupt it, so that's good. Now the question is, VMM, WSL, WSL service, or WSL hosts are all what you want to close. Okay, that's good to know. I always usually look for VMM, WSL. That seems to be the thing I always look for. Net stop LXSS manager, then same command but start. Okay, that's good to know. Kale's like my own personal IT. I think what I'll do is, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take the advice that I think Pineapple over on Twitch offered, which is, why don't you in your input, check to see if the input was a new line. And if it was, why don't you break? Which I think makes sense. So if input... Is there a... If input equals... I think it's io.eof. EOF is the error returned by read when no more input is available. I don't think that's what I want. I think I want to look for a new line. So if that is the case, we'll just break. How does that behave if we just run the program? Okay. Hello. That interprets as a literal. Oh my gosh, what did I do there? Somehow I created an infinite loop. Control, what's Control D on the... Control D in terminal. What does that send? Control D in Linux, let's see, Control D is used to send an end of file signal. This signal is a special character that indicates the end of an input stream. Okay, so why does that... So I guess I could do or input equals io.eof. So does this return EOF? Error returns the first non-EOF error that was encountered by scanner. So what will return nil? Scan panics if split function returns. Let's see. It returns false when there's no more tokens, either by reaching the end of the input or an error. After scan returns false, the scan method will return any error that occurred during scanning, except that if it was io.eof. Okay, so it won't. Okay, so we can't check that. But I think if we check here, well, I guess we could do this. I think the problem is if we check here, we're going to exit the main loop. Oh no. Okay, why does that happen? Control D triggers a infinite loop. I don't know why that happens. Oh, I'm such an idiot, guys. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I think that means that the stream needs to be put to bed. I'm so done. So like I'm trying to test the code that I'm writing, and I haven't replaced the main function with that actual run. So stupid. Okay, so the main function now needs to look like this, where we say run REPL and we capture OS standard in and OS standard out. I think. Hi. Yeah, see, okay. So I think we need to go back to what I was doing. So let's undo what we did. That's okay. That's still a problem. That's Hey Justin. Thanks for stopping by and saying good morning. Appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well. In PowerShell, newer version goes to a screen. Huh. Well, in Linux, I guess it's in the file. So how do I break out of this? I'm kind of stuck. This is where the clanker comes in handy, huh? Although, you know, I gotta say, I don't care for the term clanker. It feels derogatory, but I don't know why that bothers me. I'm talking about a robot or an AI. You know what I mean? But there's something about saying it. It feels like I'm being derogatory, which I guess is the purpose of the word. I don't think I want to do that anymore. I don't think I want to use the word anymore. My helpful assistant. How about that? My helpful pair programmer. Let's see. I'm running a scanner.text loop. Inside a loop, but I'm having difficulty figuring out how to detect when to break, I guess, is what are the common patterns people use when reading and writing to standard in and out with this API. Clank is fine. I also just reserved that word for some of my coworkers. Fair enough. Let's see. Because context.scan is a blocking call, if you want to cancel reading via context.context or timeout, you must read standard in inside a separate Go routine. I don't think that's what I want. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Rely on for scanner.scan to break. Use text if exit. Always check errors. Yeah. So I don't think any of that accomplishes what I'm looking for. I have to do some more research on this. I don't think any of that's what I want. I basically just want some way. What do I want? What do I want, chat? What do I want? I want. So is agentic slave. Isn't minion a bit wrong to use as well? I don't know. I guess I'll just call it. I mean, the fact of the matter is, now that I've turned it into kind of a read-only harness, it's actually been very helpful lately, and it's pleasant to work with an agent in that way. It reminds me a lot of using Copilot in VS Code in Ask mode, and I really do enjoy. I enjoy the rubber ducking. I enjoy the do some research for me, right? As long as I still stay engaged with writing code and running commands and stuff, then I'm happy. So I think this is kind of what I'm going to try as my terminal-centric workflow for now. And we'll see after a couple months if I want to keep it around. That's why I never switched from Gemini chat. Like I never really use IDE chat. That's fair. I used GitHub Copilot quite a bit. Especially the autocomplete, the tab autocomplete. Like when LLMs like just, you know, when Copilot was like in its infancy, right? I used that quite a bit. Okay, I think I'm ready to wrap up. I'll come back and we'll figure out. So basically what I need to do is, well, let's write a to do here. Let's see, what's the problem? The problem is we need a way to gracefully exit the REPL. For testing, I guess for at the least testing purposes. I mean, I know we're going to implement an exit command, but we need some way to terminate this at least for testing purposes. So that's really the crux of the issue. This isn't going to work because this blocks, and that's kind of the heart of the problem. Is this is blocking, and end of new line sort of kind of expected when you hit enter, I guess, on the keyboard. Actually, that does make me curious. If that isn't working, what is input when I format.print f input? What is this? Percent. Also, how do you print white space characters? How to print white space characters in Go? What about? I think we're gonna have to do something like that. We're gonna have to come up with, I think, our own sort of like indicator of quitting. And I guess we could just use the exit command. I mean, that's what the exit command is kind of there to do. So maybe I'm just kind of overcomplicating that. Which is, I mean, something I commonly do. Let's see, per one space or with format, I think. So like if input is just white space characters, how do I get those to show up? It's crazy how fast the time goes. It's almost 9 o'clock now. %Q. %Q. So this will print non-printing characters. I think it's %Q. I was just kind of curious what that input has in it. Okay, so I guess that could be, that would just be then an empty string, huh? Dude, if text says that in the documentation, I'm gonna be so pissed at myself. Text returns the most recent token, which I guess would just be an empty string. So if we do this, we could go run. I make everything so much harder than it needs to be. I always think there's like a clever way or like the right way to do something, and I spend all this time trying to figure out what's the most clever way, what's the most idiomatic way, and it's like just do the simple thing. Just do the thing you think will work. Okay, what failed? You should print custom prompt. Received Pokedex, but expected that. So what is the difference? That would probably be a good use of non-printing characters, huh? So we have Pokemon versus Pokedex. So that's just a problem with my test. Pokedex. Look at us. Now we're testing stuff. We're testing our input output. Look at us. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Twitch disconnected again. Huh. I wonder why Twitch keeps disconnecting. I wonder if DWAR is over there trying to do stuff.
Thank you for hanging out with me.
All right, I'll get that updated on the commands page. I don't have that on the commands page. I'll do that today. But that's a thing now. If you're a member or a sub, you can fire off TTS. I'm actually gonna, I know this is kind of crazy, but I'm actually gonna remove the cooldown. Until people abuse it, I'm just gonna remove it. Alrighty, I'm out of here. See you, Kale. If anybody else is still here on Twitch or YouTube, thank you for chilling with me. This was a good stream. I know it wasn't exceedingly productive, but it was fun. I will be back. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll be here. See you, Lasagna. See you, Bradley. Have a good weekend, man. Have a good Saturday. I hope it's chill and relaxing. I think I have to mow, and it's like humid as hell outside, so that's what I wasn't able to mow a day or two ago because we had rain the last couple of days, but that's how my weekend will be starting. So think about me when I'm dying in the heat. You're 50 minutes from Sunday? Well, I hope your Sunday's wonderful, man. I hope your Saturday was great. I hope it wasn't as stressful as Kale's. And I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. See you guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me.